So you want to see us excited, like really excited about going to an airport? Send us to a military base. Now you know the saying, you can land at any military base once. Luckily for us, we can land at this next one as many times as we want.
Aero 1939 Hotel Yuma Tower, good morning. Crossover field 1200, join left traffic 26.
Every year in March, one of the best air shows of the year happens right here. So naturally, we had to visit, especially when it is only about an hour and a half flight away. I mean, with F-35s, F-16s, and Ospreys, how can we not go? The problem was the FBO wouldn't let us stay plane side. But we saw on the website something about transient parking, so we called the airport, but we received no answer or call back, so we decided to risk it and fly in before the TFR and out after the TFR was lifted. The problem was we had no idea if we would be able to park where we thought transient parking was located. Well, today you'll find out as we head to Marine Corps Air Station Yuma in Yuma, Arizona. The airport first opened in 1928 as Fly Field after Colonel Benjamin F. Fly. Couldn't have been a more appropriate name. It was just a dirt strip at the time, but this little war that we usually bring up, World War II, transformed the airport to Yuma Airfield. It was then closed after the war on November 1945 and remained that way until 6 years later when the US Air Force reactivated the airport. Then 5 years later, the United States granted a patent that opened it for public use. Eventually, it was signed over to the Navy and has been Marine Corps Air Station Yuma / Yuma International Airport ever since.
SkyWest 4948, exit right when able. Runway 35 is approved. Contact ground off.
Right when able, 35 is approved and ground off.
Now, even though today it's a well-functioning joint base, it wasn't always that way. There were many contentious years between the airport and MCAS Yuma, but in October of 2006, new management was brought in to resolve those issues. And in 2007, a resolution was presented on how important Yuma Airport was to MCAS Yuma and vice versa, and have since considered each other aviation partners, to the point that it is considered one of the best joint use airfields between civilians and military. In a nutshell, the military and civilian use of the airport overlaps completely, as any runway that the military uses, so can civilians. It's pretty mind-blowing. Alright, so let's talk a little bit more about the actual airport. It's a Class Delta with a whopping 4 runways, 1735 at about 5,700 feet, 0826 at over 6,100 feet, which is the one we'll land on today, and a pair of long diagonal ones, 03 right, 21 left at over 9,200 feet, and 03 left, 21 right at a really long 13,300 feet. These diagonal runways is usually what we see militaries use, as they also have arresting cables for aircraft carrier training. This is all at an elevation of 213 feet. Oh, and one fun fact, Irene wanted to know if the November in Kilo November Yankee Lima, the identifier for the airport, meant anything, and it does. It means it's a naval or marine air station. Now you know that too. So obviously by now we know there's a lot of military here. But what specifically? Well, there is a large number of F-35B squadron, and the B is the VTOL version, or the vertical takeoff and landing of the F-35, and you'll see it in action a little later. Another very active squadron is nicknamed Snipers, which consists of F-5s which act as adversary squadron for training purposes. One of the most remarkable facts about this squadron is that they have a mishap-free history since 1995, which is about 50,000 hours of air combat training. Want to know how we know about them? Well, Irene sees them on ADSB Exchange coming out of Yuma all the time. Pretty sure I told you guys, she loves her military aviation. But Yuma's claim to fame is the Marines' equivalent of Top Gun, called the Weapons and Tactics Instructor Course, or WTI, which trains officers to become instructors of their squadron. It's considered the most prestigious aviation academy in the US. I'm sure the Navy will have something to say about that.
39 Hotel, check wheels down, runway 26, wind 320 at 10, clear to land. Long landing is approved if you like.
All right, 3 green lights down and locked, and we will land long 26, 39 Hotel.
I know that they say check wheels down for the jets, but I still get a kick out of hearing it every time we come in here. One of the reasons why this airport is so valuable to the military is because of the year-round favorable flying weather. It has over 310 days of sunshine per year, but that doesn't come without other challenges like strong winds. The last time we came in, we were tossed around for more than half of our flight and had quite a substantial crosswind, not like today. Even though winds can make flying exhausting for us GA pilots, it's great for military training, which they take full advantage of. There's also low humidity, which helps aircraft performance. Now, the airport does have pretty much every type of instrument approach, especially on their biggest runway, 21 right. But there is one approach that is not on the charts that I have been wanting to do ever since I heard about it. And I've read comments that this is possibly the airport to do it at. And it's called a Precision Approach Radar, or PAR. It's an approach where you literally just listen to the controller as they guide you verbally all the way down. No ILS, no RNAV. They use their radar to determine your location and help you make adjustments. Some tower controllers need to maintain PAR currency, so they are more than happy to accommodate this approach, but always ask. It's also considered a precision approach. I'm definitely nervous to attempt it, and I always forget about asking, but next time we'll definitely ask and see what they say.
39 Hotel, left at the end, then grounds on point 9er.
Left at the end, then over to ground point 9er, 39 Hotel.
As you guys can tell, this is a really long runway. The first time we came here, Irene had pointed out that I might want to land long, but I was so focused on the landing that I just went automatic and landed on the numbers, and it took forever to get to the other side. So when you come in, take the advice of Tower and just land long. We just want to make clear that even though today we're coming in for the air show, this is still what you would do if you were coming in to visit on any other day, except you'd probably go to the FBO, and that FBO is Millionaire, and it's one of our favorite because their customer service is awesome and they're usually not that expensive. Today we didn't stop there because, like we said earlier, we couldn't sit next to our plane outside, but we had been there previously and it was an easy process. We'll put our fee breakdown in the description as always from our previous stay, so at least you have an idea of what you'll pay. As far as food, you have to drive to nearby restaurants, but during the week, Millionaire has $1 meal for the pilot and one passenger. The cafe is open Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Yuma, ground arrow 19er, 39er Hotel, clear of 26 for the fuel island.
Arrow 193 Hotel, Yuma ground, taxi fuel via Zulu 1.
Zulu 1, 39er Hotel.
Now, if you happen to come on the weekend or after 2 p.m. on the weekday, just grab a crew car at Millionaire to drive to any nearby restaurant. As always, there is an hourly limit. Usually you get at least 2 hours, which is plenty of time, and it's first come, first serve. The great thing about transient parking here is that, wait, let me read this verbatim because it might be surprising for you to hear. I nearly short-circuited when I read it. Yuma International Airport provides parking for all general aviation aircraft with no parking fees associated. Pretty awesome, right? But there is a catch. Yeah, I'm sorry to say there is. To the best of our knowledge, you have to know someone at the airport to let you back in because the pedestrian gates are one way out only. And unlike most airports, there is no gate code to get back in, which makes sense. This is not just another airport, it's a military base. We tried calling the airport to get further info, but they didn't call us back, so if you happen to know if there's a way to exit and get back in, please let us know. One theory we have is maybe through Millionaire. We didn't try that, but we're sure there has to be a way. There are 10 parking spots, all with tie-down links, but bring your own straps, which is a must. Again, you never know when the winds will show up. There was even a dust devil that showed up during the air show. Again, this is the desert. All right, we made it. Now time to show you around. If you ever wonder after 500 hours, do we still get excited about flying places? Well, that's me right there, either doing Kung Fu or airboxing. I don't know what it was, but I was just so amped to be there. But this was why, because we had a spectacular view of the entire show. So the first thing we'll do is we'll take you to one of those pedestrian gates so you guys can see what we're talking about and why it's only a one-way gate. There is a self-service fuel right adjacent to transient parking, and from someone who comes from California where fuel at our airport is $5.99, seeing $4.86 was just crazy. You better believe we topped off our tanks. We usually only do the tabs, which gives us about 50 gallons, but it was a full 72 gallons of glorious cheap fuel. One of our biggest concerns about just staying at transient parking all day was access to a restroom. Luckily for us, they did have that. Of course, restrooms are in the FBO, but if you're coming in and parking at transient parking or just getting fuel, there are a number of really nice restrooms. And this is their wash rack, which is really nice. And if you look far in the distance, you'll also see Millionaire. As we walked further east, we saw 3 more doors. One was a pilot's lounge, which we had no access to. It looks like you need a code. But the restrooms, one for men and one for women, were open. And that's it. It has everything you need. But now it's time for me to be quiet to show you why we were here, the air show.
Hotel Roger, runway 26 at Kilo intersection departure, taxi via Zulu 2 Zulu, hold short runway 8.
All right, taxi via Zulu 2 Zulu, hold short runway 8, 39 Hotel.
As we headed out, I remember just thinking, like, I can't believe we just experienced an air show the way we did. It was spectacular. All that footage you just saw, that was Irene just recording everything she could. That's what it looked like to us. And obviously on camera, it looks even further. In person, it was just like we were right under these jets. It was awesome. We want to point out that the SkyWest that took off during that montage was actually during the air show. Commercial traffic remains active during the show, And no, they don't have them both flying simultaneously. Instead, there is a coordinated effort to prioritize commercial traffic so it can remain on its schedule. The airshow is temporarily paused and then resumed once traffic departs. As we said earlier, this is a dual usage airport, and this includes having commercial traffic, with American Airlines having multiple daily round trips to Phoenix Sky Harbor and one daily trip to Dallas Fort Worth.
November 39er Hotel, cross runway 8 on Zulu, hold short runway 17 on Alpha 2.
All right, cross runway 8 on Zulu, hold short runway 17 on Alpha 2. 39er Hotel.
Tower here is so spectacular and patient. They gave us progressive taxi because I'm sure they know it can get a little complicated. We recommend studying the airport diagram to get an idea of how you will be taxiing, because between crossing two runways and a runway approach hold short bars, if you don't have at least some idea of what to expect, it can become a little much. I literally wrote down what I predicted my instructions would be, which helped a ton. We would also end up doing our run up holding short of our departing runway.
November 39er Hotel, cross runway 17 on Alpha 2, hold short runway 21 right approach.
All right, cross 17 on Alpha 2 and hold short a 21 right approach, 39er Hotel.
They also make departures so easy because you can set up flight following on the ground. You just contact clearance first. You'll hear my interaction with Tower when I asked about this right before takeoff. Now, we chose not to do it this time because this isn't SoCal and this craziness of trying to chime in on the radios. It was very calm here, and we knew as soon as we got in the air that we'd be able to contact Yuma departure. Joke's on me though, turned out to be not so easy. One of the most difficult things to do in aviation is get information. I mean, that's why we started this series after all. And we didn't know if they would let us park at Transient parking with the airshow going on. To be honest, we would see patrolling police and we were waiting to be told that we'd have to go park at the FBO. After the second patrol passed us, we knew we were good. But at the same time, we just really couldn't believe the views we were getting with absolutely no one around. We had access to the restrooms, we grabbed our lawn chairs, brought some food, and just relaxed while some of the most technologically advanced aircraft known to man just buzzed above us. Probably one of the best, if not the best, airshow experience we've had so far. So you guys know where we will be next year.
November 39er Hotel, cross runway 2 and right approach, continue via Kilo. Contact Tower on Kilo when you're ready.
All right, cross 2 on right approach, continue on Kilo, and we'll contact Tower when ready, 39er Hotel.
And speaking of you guys, look, we're just two people who love aviation because it's given us not only some of the most amazing experiences ever, but it has helped us escape some of our toughest times in our lives. Now, we've reached this next layer of meeting some truly amazing people, whether in person or right here on this channel. Irene and I look at each other sometimes and can't believe the support we've gotten from you, because we just feel like two people flying around like you guys and sharing that in our videos. I say that because your comments and stories just keep us motivated to keep this channel going. Matter of fact, it makes us so excited to release the next airport every week, and we thank you for that. Some of you, we say this with so much gratitude, truly went to another level this week, which frankly left us completely speechless. But we wanted to make sure we showcased you at least. You guys keep us flying because you know how expensive all this is. And as much as we'd like to say we're independently wealthy, that's so far from what we are. We're just trying to build something that promotes aviation and flying, and hope that one day this can be the one thing we do for a living. But these super thanks really make us feel like it's possible. So from the bottom of our hearts, thank you so much. Well, that wraps it up for another airport, and not just any one, our favorite type, a joint base airport that we can fly into and even better, watch an air show from, which is so rare. We appreciate you guys so much. We'll see you guys next week. Until then, go fly, go discover.
And aircraft calling short of 26 on Kilo. I think that was 39 Hotel. Say again.
Roger, that is 39 Hotel. Wanted to know, can we set up flight following on the ground or should we set it up in the air?
It's your choice. I can send you over to clearance delivery, and they could file one for you, a flight plan for you on the ground, or I can switch you in the air on after departure.
Yeah, I can switch in the air. That's fine. Give you guys less work to do. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Are you ready to go, or you need some time still?
No, ready to go. 39 Hotel.
39 Hotel, Roger. Runway 26 at Kilo. Line up and wait. And what's your direction of flight?
26 Kilo, line up and wait, and we'll go northbound. 39 Hotel.
Roger. Hotel, runway 26 intersection, wind 230 at 6, clear for takeoff. Make a right turnout, climb unrestricted.
26 clear for takeoff and make a right turn, climb unrestricted. 39 Hotel. Hotel. Frequency change approved. You can pick up flight following with Yuma approach on 125.55. Have a good day. Frequency change approved, then over to 12555. Thanks for all the help. See you guys next year.
Yep, see you.
Good afternoon, Yuma approach Aero 1939 Hotel out of Yuma at 2000. VFR request.
And I'm sorry, calling approach for flight following. Can you say again? You were stepped on by somebody else.
No problem. This is Aero 1939 Hotel out of Yuma at 2200 with VFR request.
Citation 219 Lima Squawk 6713. And Aero 39 Hotel, can you say your destination one more time? I'm sorry, somebody else stepped on you.
Not a problem at all. Destination is Corona Alpha Juliet Oscar 39er Hotel.
Citation 219 Lima, your radar contact 10 west of Heaths, 13,800 in a climb. I'll have your IFR for you momentarily. and Aero 39 Hotel, squawk 4635.
4635, 39er Hotel.
39 Hotel, your radar contact, 7 miles northwest Yuma, 2,800, say altitude climbing 2.
Climbing 8,500, 39er Hotel.